You know, laminitis is a terrible disease. In fact, you may be shocked to learn that it's actually the #2 killer of our equine friends. And while it's easy enough to recognize laminitis once it's occurred, it's not always been easy to pinpoint the management factors that contribute to whether or not a horse is at risk for a laminitic episode, until now. Using research from people all over the world, I've developed the laminitis risk calculator for the iPhone. So the user can now enter various factors into their iPhone and find out at a glance whether or not their horse is at risk for suffering a laminitic episode. When you first start the laminitis risk calculator, the Home tab includes some basic information on laminitis, as well as direct links to Enlightened Equine and the Animal Health Foundation. The app is fully documented under the Instructions tab and includes detailed information for the diet worksheet, the risk calculator, and feed data. Any special terminology that's used is fully defined, as well as any default values or assumptions that are used in calculations. The instructions also include links where necessary for further information. The assessment process is begun on the diet worksheet under the Diet tab. And the first order of business is to figure out the horse's weight using the heart girth and body length measurements. Now, if a weight tape measurement is the only thing available, these numbers can be manipulated to come up with the same weight as the weight tape measures. It doesn't matter, it will work fine. Next, feed information is entered. If the caloric content of the food you're using is not known, you can look under the Feed Data tab, where the information for 106 commercial feeds is organized both alphabetically to make it easy to find, and by calorie content in case you're trying to find a higher or lower calorie value than your present feed. Continuing on, we can enter in the amount of grass and legume hay per day that the horse is consuming. These use average values that can be found in the instructions. Continuing down the sheet, we can then use the buttons to enter the number of hours per day the horse spends on grass pasture and whether or not the horse is wearing a grazing muzzle. All this information is used to calculate the estimated calories per day that the horse is currently consuming. We continue the assessment process by using the Risk tab. And here we use the buttons once again to select the horse's age range, whether or not the horse has ever suffered a laminitic episode in the past, its body condition score, and its daily work level. Scrolling down the sheet, we'll then find the estimated weight from the earlier sheet, and we have the opportunity to change the desired weight should we want to see an increase or decrease in the animal's weight. That will give us the daily caloric intake and the daily caloric needs of the animal based on their weight and their exercise level. And finally, it will show whether or not that animal is at high risk for suffering a laminitic episode. I really hope you'll take a look at the laminitis risk calculator in the iPhone App Store. It's a simple and inexpensive way to help ensure that your horse never suffers from this terrible, devastating disease. Thanks.